I'm live. Welcome to another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. I'm Atmadarshan or Laura, whichever you prefer. Today, we're starting to really move toward this holiday I've been talking about, which is Shivratri. And it can be translated as many things, including dark night of the soul. And until we get to that particular holiday, we'll be dedicating the practice, at least I will, to a particular form of Shiva. Today is still full moon day, though, so we're very, very bright. However, the topic could be a little darker. And that topic is a challenge to Samatvam, or equanimity, a challenge to our ability to stay true to ourselves under any circumstance. And it's when I first read this in the Gita, I thought, how is this a flaw? But I studied more, and now I think I understand. And that flaw is pity. In verse 7 of chapter 2, and I'll chant it for my own translation so that it can be in rhythm. Arjun says to Krishna, "The thought of pity blights my very being. My mind is confused as to what is duty." The word duty in the Sanskrit is dharma, which can also mean destiny. It can mean the right thing to do, basically. So why is pity considered a flaw? Why is Arjun so concerned about it? Well, it has to do with one of the functions of the ego we talked about early on, which is splitting the world into us and them. And not just that, but creating a hierarchy. So for example, if I knew somebody who was really, really rich, or had things I thought I wanted, I probably wouldn't say, boy, I pity them. It would be, I envy them. And when I say envy, I'm kind of setting them above me. They have something I want that I lack, and I envy that. But if I pity somebody, that sets me in a way above them. I can save them. I can help them. They are lesser than me somehow, and I feel sorry for them. That can be one way we look at the idea of pity. And what Arjun is doing is recognizing that as he's facing his cousins, his teachers, his grandfather in battle, he feels pity for them. And that, in a way, leads him to not want to fight them. He needs to be their savior in some manner of being. And if somebody's savior, you're usually above them somehow. In Christianity, Christ the Savior is like the top of the pile there. So when we're trying to develop equanimity, the ability to be ourselves, we have to be so careful not to let ego come in any of its forms, even if they appear kind. So instead of pitying someone or envying them, can we see them as people just like us and treat them with respect? Because I think about times people have said, I pity you to me, and I'm like, I don't need pity. Maybe that's just me, but I could feel that kind of condescension. So let's be ourselves. Let's not split the world. When we're ourselves, when we're truly ourselves, we see ourselves in others, in their good fortune, in their bad fortune. We see the formless within the form. And actually, the dedication today, if you take a look at the comments that I wrote below this video, is Linga Murthy, which means the form or shape of a lingam, which we can actually, it's a form of Shiva that is said to be formless. The form of the formless. We're trying to quantify something that is very abstract. I have several symbols of Linga around my house. Here's one. It's crystal. It's from India. So this is us trying to give form to the formless. And when we try to put limiting beliefs on somebody or project things like envy or pity, we're actually trying to limit the limitless. You are limitless. And so is every other being that walks this planet with you. When we realize that, we can be more truly ourselves. So, shall we take the form of a pose and then a meditation? It's cold today. Whoops. It's so cold I can't open the door. So I'll be shutting the door to keep the tech nice and warm, but I'll try to remember to knock. All righty. Wonderful. Now it is time for our 5-minute meditation. Perhaps contemplate those you envy, those you may pity. Does that pull you out of your ability to just be yourself and to let others be themselves? See you in 5. Well, here comes the cat. Coming back. Woo. So, as I was out there listening to the birdies sing, there are lots of birds right now. It's as if spring is already here. And sometimes I hear people talking about birds in the winter, or I think about birds in the winter. I go, oh, poor things. They must be suffering, but they're doing fine. It's perhaps our projection that they're helpless, but they aren't. They get through all the cold, all the chill much better than we do. And for all of those of you in the Cleveland area who know how cold it is this morning, you don't need to pity me either. I'm doing just fine too. You are doing just fine. Instead of pity today, maybe we can replace, or envy, we can replace those feelings with compassion. We don't try to repress the feelings, but compassion means to, share the passion with, or share whatever's in the moment genuinely with another. So perhaps we can do that today. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll share a very interesting incident that happened this morning and how it relates to tomorrow's theme. So please come back. Until then.